Hello, this is Dr. Bhushan Shanbhag. In today's video, we are going to see why should we be creating assets now. Okay, so what we learn in this video, first of all, we are going to learn what exactly is money, then the concept of inflation and how assets help us in battling inflation. Let us see, every country's currency has some name. Rupee in India, the name has come from Rupyak, means silver. Okay, Rupya or Rupyak, that is silver. Why is British pound called a sterling pound? Let us see that. Actually, we have no idea what is money. So, what is a British pound? Earlier, all the currency was linked with gold or silver. British pound note, earlier, they were only silver coins. Silver was the metal used for coinage in Britain. So British pound note had a promise by Bank of England, printed on it, that I will give £1 sterling silver to the bearer of that note, signed by Governor of the Bank of England. Okay. So if you go with the note to Bank of England, they will give you £1 silver against it. So the name came sterling pound. Sterling was a quality of silver. So mentioning of what purity. Alright. But what exactly is sterling silver? Before 1344 AD, there was a pound coin made up of 92.5% pure silver. That is sterling quality. 92.5%. So the name. Alright. Weight of it was 1 pound. 1 pound is how much? A little under half a kilo. Okay. So that was lot of money back then. Nobody carried 1 pound coin in pocket. The pocket was there. Right? Half a kilo. Almost little under that. So after currency notes replace coins, now people should have trust in this note. That is why the note was printed. I pay to the bearer 1 pound of sterling silver, signed by Governor of the Bank of England. Later on, what happened? Silver in the coin was replaced with gold because carrying silver 1 pound was not convenient. Right? But because gold silver price ratio was fixed, prices were not fixed, price ratio was fixed. Remember that. Okay. Earlier, if you see the Roman era, price of gold to silver was 12:1. That is, gold was 12 times costlier than silver at that time, or 12 grams of silver was equivalent to 1 gram of gold. But slowly, steadily, this ratio changed to 15:1. And now if you see, it is almost between say 90 to 100:1. Okay, 100 grams of silver is close to 1 gram of gold. Right? There were many advantages over here. Earlier what happened, every country, they had to keep a certain amount of gold or silver in their central treasury, and comparatively the notes were printed. So supply of note was not abundant. Notes were restricted. That was the time when inflation was almost non-existent. When our grandparents tell us that when they were kids, a big bag of rice was costing something like 2 rupees. That was the time when there was no inflation. Why no inflation? Because how much is the gold silver reserve and how much is the number of notes available for public or in the economy was fixed. So low prices in older days, that was the reason. But what happened was, actually throughout the 20th century, different governments started printing more money than actual gold silver reserves. This speeded up after the Second World War, when inflation started rising. And in 1971, the whole scenario changed. The then president of the USA, Richard Nixon, removed all the restrictions on reserves in the central bank and notes printed. Okay, so now none of the countries in the world have this relation. Okay, Richard Nixon severed the bond between bullion and currency. Bullion is the national reserve, Now, new US dollar, it did not have any, need not have any relation with how much is the gold or silver in the central bank, central vault. So, what is there? You take a paper, print dollar on it, and it is a dollar. There is no backing to it. Okay. So, what is the real value of money? Truly speaking, your currency value has no value, nothing, no value at all, currency note. But because it has backing of some government, it is considered to be valuable. If the trust in the government goes off, the currency goes on going down in value. These type of currencies are called fiat currencies, FIAT. Now, which currencies are not fiat currencies in the world? You will be surprised. There is not a single currency which is not a fiat currency. All currencies in the world are fiat currencies. They have no true value. If you observe a 100 rupee note or any other currency note, it is printed on it, I promise to pay 100 rupees to the bearer of this note, not 1 pound of sterling silver any longer. So if you go with rupee, you are going to get rupees. What if you don't trust rupees? Neither the note has value nor the rupees you have got have value. Okay? So this is the promise from chairman of RBI given to every note bearer in the country. I promise to pay so many rupees to the bearer. Right? So if you go with 100 rupees to RBI, you are going to get 100 rupees. No gold, no silver against it. What is its real value? Nothing. It is our assumption that there is gold or silver back into every currency. No, not any longer. It was there once. Now it's not there at all. In none of the currencies have any backing. Okay? So it is guaranteed by the government. People have trust in that government or as a nation. Right? That is why we consider it is of the value, but truly speaking, it's not the real thing. Real value is to assets. Assets which you have created, they have value. Currency notes, bank deposits, they don't have any real value. Okay, so if you are having a currency note in your hand, it is just a piece of paper in reality. We have it, assume value we have. Okay, now see what happened because of demonetization. Government demonetized 500 and 1000 rupees notes. Today, if you go with 1000 rupee note to any shop, are you going to get the goods for it? No, they have no value. It's a piece of paper which government has stopped recognizing. Alright? So governments print and circulate billions of papers and we trust them as notes. Remember that. Value of this paper in your hand keeps going lower and lower every day. Remember that because of inflation. We have discussed inflation separately. So today a dollar saved is not a dollar earned. Okay? It's less than that. And tomorrow it will be even less than that. Why? Because as governments keep printing more and more currency notes, we know if supply increases, value decreases. So today's saved dollar will keep losing its value continuously and will become nearly worthless after some decades. However, convert this money into real assets. If money loses the value, assets will appreciate by that much proportion. Okay? Hold the assets, not the cash. Deposit in the bank is cash. Deposit in PPF is the cash. That's not going to help you. Inflation is going to eat away the value in it. They will depreciate. In reality, the value will be going down. So in near future, if you consider from year 2020, the COVID started spreading everywhere in the world, the corona pandemic. Many countries, they went into recession. What is recession? Negative growth for 6 consecutive months. That is called recession. Now, what these countries have done in order to come out of recession, governments the world over have started printing money or creating money on computers. And nowadays even printing is not required. That is a measure against recession. Pour money in the system. Side effect of this is inflation. and inflation lowers the value of your cash. But it increases the value of your assets in terms of, if you compare in the terms of rupees. Okay. So inflation will reduce the value of money. Truly the value of asset doesn't increase. But because rupee has gone down, you require more money to buy that asset later on in future. So something that you are preserving may soon be losing its value like never before. And that is because of inflation. So what you can buy today for 100 rupees is not available for 100 rupees next year. It may cost 105 rupees, 110 rupees, something like that. We say things are getting costlier. Things are not getting costlier. Rupee is losing its value compared to other things. And these things are commodities or assets. So if you want to protect your wealth, don't hold cash. Don't keep bank deposits also. Okay, I will separately discuss how much deposits you should keep in a separate video. Instead, divert your funds to create assets. Whatever amount you invest in assets today, that will increase in value with inflation. In other words, asset prices will adjust themselves to inflation. Okay, so what should you do? Invest in different asset classes. In this course, we are going to discuss a large number of asset classes. You can invest in gold, you can invest in the stock market, you can invest in good quality real estate. Check the quality. Don't buy bargain basement. It actually proves to be costly. Okay. If required, you can take loan and create assets. You know why? Today, if you take 10 lakhs of loan, tomorrow the value of rupee is down. When you are returning, the pinch will not be much. Actually, it can be to your advantage. Okay. And what you should avoid? Avoid holding cash. Avoid bank deposits as far as possible. Keep minimum not more than 6 months of your expenditure should be in bank deposits. Avoid bonds. Minimize investments in PPF and the related instruments. Avoid paying back the loans which you have already taken and created assets. Delay it. Value of rupee decreasing will make it easier for you to pay back the loan. Pay only the interest component. Don't be in a hurry to pay back even if you have cash. Instead, create a separate asset because of using that. Okay. In other words, this is the time to create assets. Physical as well as demat form assets. Okay. If you are holding cash, you will be the loser in time to come. In next 2-3 years, value of cash is likely to go down sharply. Awake and act on it. Create assets. You will find your money will be multiplied through these assets. So I warned you in advance. Act on it. To act or not, that is your decision. Thank you for watching. Keep watching this. Thank you.